Welcome back to the channel, viewers. This is one of our favourite places to come to, Donnington. We've been here enough times. There's a little place here called the Castle. I can't remember, they've got a certain night where they do some kind of meal. We'll let you know afterwards. We'll put it in the AI. Anyway, so we've just got our vehicle fixed and we're back here in Berkshire at Donnington. Now this is the third time that we've done this video. We've lost the footage on many occasions. The footage got corrupted, so this is the third time that we've done this. Okay, third occasion that we've done Donnington, and we got some drone pilots taking care of the drone footage. This is we're walking towards Donnington Priory. Could that be the same priory where all the celebrities go when they're absolutely drunk? Look at this guy parking on the pavement. This is intelligent, isn't it? Nothing like consideration for other road users or pedestrians. Then why do they care? Do the police do anything about it? Not normally. Imagine someone coming down there with a buggy or a pram, or someone coming down there with disabled access, a wheelchair. That would have been interesting, wouldn't it? Everywhere we go in the country, viewers, this is what we see everywhere. And it's not the majority, it's always the minority. Just passing the old mill. Left hand side if you want to go up to Donnington Castle. Hartley House on the right hand side. Millstream Cottage. Do not park in front of the garage or opposite at any time. Got the Hartley Arms on the right hand side. Got some kind of comedy thing going on there. There's their opening hours. We've spoken to these.
The Hartley Arms in Donnington Village, Newbury, was previously known as the Three Horseshoes. It is now a contemporary pub that serves seasonal meals and a variety of drinks, including local beers. The pub is part of the Honesty Group, which was founded in 2014 by Romilla Arbor. The Hartley Arms. Former name, the Three Horseshoes. Owner Honesty Group. Food, seasonal meals made with local produce. Drinks, wide selection of drinks, including local beers.
Come and check it out. Don't know what that is. Must be a car park. Must be. Ah, this is the car park for the pub. So you can come down here and park your car. It seems to be. It says no fishing, no dog fouling. No fishing, no dog fouling, and no fishing. Hartley Arms customers parking only. So this car park here is for that pub there. So check them out. Tell them that Walking in History recommended you. Walking in History YouTube. Here's the beautiful village. Absolutely beautiful village. The local post box for the post box. And there's the Shore and Donnington Parish Council. God, takes me back. Parish Council, that takes me back. I was a parish councillor in 2000 in Cornwall. That was fun. We spent most of the time dealing with farmers that are arguing over 2 inches of fence. Takes me back to that comment, give me land! No parking in front of this gate. Access required at all times. No cold calling. So by invitation only. Seems like that kind of village, doesn't it, viewers? Got a couple walking the dog coming towards us. Morning. Morning. Enjoying the sunshine like we are, viewers, as we pass Meadowcroft. So, these little posts here, when they're red, I believe it means left. You can check it up later. I believe it means left, going back to my advance. And then white means right, or right means left. Well, we'll check it out later. So, originally, this walk was done several times by Antonia. Unfortunately, when we started, as you know, we only had our green and common shoots. Thank you for the support on that. Absolutely fantastic. I'm glad you're loving that footage. The cottage on the right hand side there. So Antonia done this a couple of times and we didn't have the right equipment and nerves and whatever, so that didn't work out for her. So we finally got the car fixed from our mechanic. Big up to our mechanic. What the other garages couldn't do, he done in 10 minutes. That's the difference between a professional and people that are playing at it, I guess. So we're walking uphill, it's quite steep. Okay for wheelchair access, buggies, prams, scooters, skateboards. I can hear some traffic. So let's just look at the signs here. No parking, private entrance, access for garage and farm vehicles only. That's in there. I'm not showing there, that's a park. No parking, 24-hour access required. Access for emergency vehicles. Keep clear at all times. Private road. This car park is for visitors of the monument only. Open 9:30 to 6:30. So obviously they close the gate. 10-mile-an-hour speed limit. And reduce your speed. Support the local community. So we go over the speed bump. We're going towards Donnington Castle. We hope to bring you some wonderful drone footage, viewers. Big up to Carlos. Yes, I've taken my suppressor off my stick. Private joke, you'll know what I mean by that. Big up to the two Alexes, our first winners on the channel in Cornwall at Hale. You'll see that in other videos. Shout out to them, two Alexes. Shout out to the ladies from Haven that helped me when I was not in a good state. Appreciate that, appreciate your kindness, loyalty, appreciate your focusedness. Once again, last time I'm going to say this, viewers, sorry for breaking the cups, but I think we've covered that in other videos. We have lots of exciting footage coming up. We've been to Worcester, to the Worcester sauce factory. As this car comes towards us slowly. Morning. Thank you. So we've been to Worcester. We've been to Shakespeare's home in Stratford-on-Avon. We filmed some stuff that's going to be released next year. What else have we been up to? We've got some videos from Cornwall, from Hale. We filmed a walk from the holiday home to the George V Memorial. Don't quote me on that. Then from there, we was checking out the defibrillators, which you left a list up. Hale Council in Cornwall, big up to the council, looking after the well-being of the locals. We spotted about 6 defibrillators. There was one, good morning. There was one at a park which was locked up. I did call question to that one. I can understand maybe kiddies would be, you know, young lads or whatever. But I did question, as a qualified first aider, I did question rather with taking that defibrillator and locking it up, would that somehow interfere with the golden hour? I should imagine that that would be up for debate. Personally myself, I think there's other ways we can do things. Ringing the emergency services, asking them asking you where you are. You can lose your signal. Ask them your name and address, your authenticity, and all the other nonsense they ask you these days, rather than contact you saying to you, get the ambulance out. Could that slow down the 5-hour ambulance that normally turns up 5 hours later? Not sure. So, TJ's on his game today. I haven't been out walking for a while, so I'm up for this. We shot up the road from the car park to the castle. We really have. Well, we've got our drone team up here taking care of the drone footage, which we will be putting with the other drone footage that we've made. And we should be giving you a bit of drone footage on this one. There's quite a bit to choose from. So there's the main car park, as you can see. So you come up here with your car. So you come up here with your car, and then you can park your vehicle in the car park here. Then obviously you get out your car and you come to this gate. Someone's left their specs there.
History of Donnington Castle. Built in 1386 by Sir Richard Aberbury, Donnington Castle would play a significant part in the English Civil War. As a royalist stronghold, it was besieged for 18 months and destroyed after being surrendered. Today, only the gatehouse survives, though the 17th century earthworks are still visible. Timeline. -1287. Thomas de Aberbury purchased the estate of Donnington. At the time, the estate would have only been a manor house. -1353. Sir Richard Aberbury inherited the Donnington Manor. He had been a companion of Edward the Black Prince, Richard II's father, at the battles of Crécy and Poitiers. Then, he went on to become the Chamberlain to Queen Anne of Bohemia, the first wife of Richard II. This led to the accumulation of his wealth, which allowed him to upgrade his estate. -1386. Sir Richard Aberbury the Elder was granted a license by Richard II to fortify the Donnington Manor House. Thus, it became known as Donnington Castle. Donnington Castle is a quadrangular castle, a typical style of fortified estates from this era. It originally consisted of a curtain wall with 2 square wall towers, 4 round corner towers, and a robust gatehouse. There were likely towers or buildings made of timber within the courtyard, standing against the castle walls. These buildings would have consisted of halls, kitchens, and lodgings for the castle's guests and occupants. -1388. As one of Richard II's key supporters, Sir Richard de Aberbury was expelled from the royal court by the Lords Appellant. He retired to Donnington to enjoy his final years. -1399. After Sir Richard de Aberbury the Elder died in April 1399, Donnington was passed to his son, Richard Aberbury the Younger. -1415. Richard Aberbury the Younger sold Donnington Castle to Thomas Chaucer, son of the poet Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer gave Donnington Castle to his daughter Alice Chaucer, who later became Duchess of Suffolk. Her husband, the Duke of Suffolk, made Donnington his occasional residence. He also made some minor modifications to the castle by enlarging the buildings. Donnington Castle would later become the Tudor monarch's royal possession after the family fell out of favor. -1514. Henry VIII granted Donnington Castle to Charles Brandon after he became Duke of Suffolk. Charles Brandon added squared windows to Donnington Castle. -1535. Donnington Castle was taken into royal possession once again. By now, parts of the castle were in a state of decay. Afterwards, it would undergo minor renovations. In the subsequent years, Donnington Castle would host royal visits from Henry VIII in 1539 and 1541, Edward VI in 1551, and Elizabeth I in 1568. -1644. Parliamentarians laid siege to Donnington Castle. Lasting 18 months, it was one of the longest sieges in the English Civil War. The castle was attacked many times. Charles I even had to relieve the castle himself twice. -1646. The royalist forces appeared hopeless, and Sir John Boys requested Charles I's permission to surrender. After obtaining the king's permission, Boys and his troops surrendered Donnington Castle to the parliamentarians in April 1646. By this point, Donnington Castle had sustained significant damages. Later, the parliamentarians voted to demolish Donnington, leaving only the gatehouse. The estate was then given to John Packer. -1647. John Packer rebuilt Donnington's nearby Elizabethan Lodge, which became the new mansion on the estate. It was named Donnington Castle House. John Packer then became Donnington Castle's last resident. -1946. Donnington came under the guardianship of the state once again, this time for good. The state rebuilt the castle's exterior to a height of 2 feet, 0.60 meters, based on the original layout. -1969. On September 9, 1969, English Heritage declared Donnington Castle as a Grade I historic building. It was also classified as a scheduled ancient monument and became protected from unauthorized changes. It remains an English heritage site to this day. Donnington Castle has always had close ties with the English monarch. The Atterbury family built it under the license of Richard II. Later, Donnington would change ownership and eventually became royal property. Donnington had hosted several visits by those who had close ties to the first family in England. Some of the most notable occupants of Donnington include Sir Richard Aberbury the Elder, the Chamberlain to and of Bohemia, the original owner of Donnington; Alice Chaucer, Duchess of Suffolk; William de la Pole, 1st Duke of Suffolk; Charles Brandon, 1st Duke of Suffolk, 1st Viscount Lisle; King Henry VIII; King Edward VI; Queen Elizabeth I, Elizabeth Cook, Lady Russell; Charles Howard, 1st Earl of Nottingham; John Packer, parliamentarian and secretary to George Villiers, Duke of Buckingham; Sir John Boys, the royalist governor of Donnington Castle; Robert Packer, politician and member of Parliament.
They are teams.
I don't think so.
We'll make sure, we'll check. Come through the gate here. We got a sign here. Donnington Castle was a fashionable fortified residence of the 14th century. Its striking twin-towered gatehouse was built in 1380. There's one for you. Hipkins, one for you. For Sir Richard de Albury, a knight in the service of the Black Prince, surrounding the medieval castle are the remains of an artillery defence constructed in 1643 to 1644. The castle was badly damaged during a 20-month siege in the Civil War. Please take care exploring the site. Supervise children closely. Willful damage to the monument is a crime. Metal detecting, smoking, commercial photography and drone use are prohibited. Like, you can tell us we can smoke. Oh, and they can tell us that we can fly here as well with our drone. No, I don't think so. I really don't. We are governed by the CAA, aren't we, viewers? We're not governed by somebody that wants to tell us that they don't own the airspace. Yeah, the airspace is the CAA. Yes, the ground is theirs, but they don't own the airspace. So, English heritage, you don't own the airspace. Okay, putting your notice on that one. Dog welcome on Leeds. Customer service, there's your number. Local police contact 101. For more information on our sites, please see englishheritage.org.uk. Keep the story of England alive. Help care for the historic site and over 400 others so that they can be enjoyed by generations to come. Then don't tell people where to fly their drones. English Heritage, you're on notice. If it's English Heritage, it's my heritage. Not unless you're a business, in which case I don't have a contract with you. Stop telling people where they can fly their drone. You can't do that. We're engaged in lawful activity. We are governed by the CAA, the Civil Aviation Authority. We also follow the drone code. If you don't like that, then I suggest that you speak to the people that claim to represent us and get it dealt with. Until then, stop with your nonsense. We're not interested. And the more you tell drone pilots they can't do it, the more they're going to enforce their rights because it's lawful. Okay, viewers, we're coming up to another signpost. We'll see if we can read as much of those as we can. Here we go. You can't see it, I can. The castle was built by Sir Richard Aubrey, a soldier, courtier and diplomat who served the Black Prince and the son of Richard II. One for you, Hipkins. Donnington was one of the several castles established around the time by nobles and gentry who had profited from England's wars with France. Interesting. It was built as a more luxurious residence than a fortress. Sir Richard probably envisaged Donnington as his family main residence, but in 1915 his son sold the manor and the castle. Despite being planned as a fortress, Donnington played a major role in the English Civil War, my mistake. The castle endured a long siege in 1644 to 1646 and was heavily damaged. We'll see that in the drone footage. The work we do at Donnington is only possible through the support of the local community. Then stop telling drone pilots we can't fly. Find out how you can contribute to your local heritage on English Heritage website. Our heritage or your business? Let's decide that one. Bloomberg Connects. Enhance your experience with our free digital guide. Find expert insights, audio tours and more on Bloomberg Connects, the arts and the culture app. Bloomberg. There you go. So we walk around. You can see there's a little entrance there. It's kind of a shot of the castle there. Don't show me. There's a little bird up there, it looks like. There goes, kind of a shot there. We'll be very careful when we come up here, viewers, because we don't want to catch any children. So if we see any children, we'll make sure we stay away. At the moment, viewers, we're just going to walk around the outside. We'll walk over to the next post, see what that one says, viewers. So this one says, The castle was most famous for enduring a long siege in the Civil War that caused great damage. Most of the castle was demolished shortly afterwards. The castle's hilltop location was strategic, as it overlooked a crossroads on a major road from London to the West Country. Interesting. Been down the West Country, viewers. After the first Battle of Newbury, King Charles I sent Colonel John Boys to Donnington with around 225 soldiers. He was the Grand Old Duke of York, I believe. That's Trelawney's men. The garrison built major earthworks defences with pointed bastions around the castle, which enabled it to survive a long siege. The Parliamentarian army brought up artillery to bombard the castle, causing extensive damage, but the Royalists' garrison hung on. Big up. When the King cause became hopeless, Charles allowed Boys to surrender and his garrison marched out with flying colours. And were they Trelawney's army? Not sure. Check that one out, viewers. Let's keep on walking. Beautiful view. Absolutely stunning view. Some of the stuff we got around here. Just walk back here, viewers. Just missed that bit there. We ain't coming back here again. We've been here 3 times. This is our final time to get the footage. We should get some cracking footage this time. There's that bit there. I'm sure all you local historians will know exactly what that is. Comments below. Always very busy up here when we come up here. There's this little bit here. Some more writing here, viewers. Donnington under the Tudors, War of the Roses, and Stuarts. The Crown confiscated the castle from Alice Chancellor, grandson, Edmund de Laupole, when he claimed the English throne and was executed for treason. In the 16th and early 17th century, important courtiers owned the manor or looked after it for the crown as keepers. The castle was too small to be a major residence, but had a fine hunting park. It was probably only occupied for short periods, and there were occasional royal visits. By the 17th century, the castle would have seemed old-fashioned and cramped. In 1632, it became the property of John Packer, formerly a clerk in James I's council and secretary to the influential George Villefers, Duke of Buckinghamshire. And as you can see, viewers, if you come up here, that you have a little storyboard of all the information. So all our Canadian, American, Australian viewers, this is what you guys have asked for. So here's your castle, here's Donnington, and this is England in November. We have a dog walker to the left, with some ladies taking some pictures in front of us. This is England. Freezing cold, but we're still here. There you go. Let's go over to here. So walk towards this way. So the view, they mentioned, viewers, is this way. So looking out over, I believe we can see Highclere. Not sure what you can see on the GoPro there, viewers, but this is the view they're talking about. So where's the road? Interesting. Maybe we'll get some drone footage of that and find out. And here's the castle. What's left of it. So we got some footage in the past, viewers. We've got some shots of the top of it where you can see it's all rotten. I do believe that there was somebody owned it, a young child or something was giving it. I don't know, we'll check the AI for that. But there you go. Anybody in this town has a picture of this castle somewhere on their Facebook. Seems to be their favourite, Donnington Castle. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, let's go this way. We'll go over to those next boards. We'll just wait back, let the ladies do what they need to do. These lovely stone walls that match the same colour as the castle. We've got some drone footage of that as well, as some cinematic effect. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. There you go, another picture there, viewers. Reconstructing Donnington Castle. Wow. Does it look like that on there? I don't think so. Oh, this is someone's impression of how it would have looked. Okay, interesting. Even though most of the castle was demolished in 1640, there is enough evidence for us to imagine how it looked. The castle was built in around 1386 to 1399. Fine features such as the vault over the gatehouse passage suggest that the King's master mason, William Wynford, may have been involved. However, Sir Richard Aubrey had limited funds and mostly built economically, using cheaper materials like flint, rubble and chalk. It would have been rendered and pointed white, forming a dramatic landmark. This is all circumstantial, viewers, okay? This never happened, this is someone's opinion. The courtyard buildings were timber framed and 3-story high. There were minimal defences. The main walls were only 1.5 metres thick, with no moat or arrow loops. It was designed as an impressive, luxurious residence rather than a defensive fortress. And there's a bit about there about the west wing, the north wing, the gatehouse, the east wing, the south wing and the stairs. Okay, viewers, let's continue our walk. So we just changed our batteries. We're always changing our batteries. We've probably got to get some new ones. We did manage to invest in a better camera. We now have a GoPro, where before that we had a Pocket, which is okay. We got that from a gentleman, bought it from eBay when we first come up with the idea of walking in history, and we said to him that we'd be walking in history, so he sold it to us, gave us a bit of discount. Can't remember the gentleman's name, but if you watch him, thank you. That worked for us for a while. Green and Common shoots, for example, was okay, but obviously, like everything, it eventually runs out. Little blackbird there, look. So we're just walking around the perimeter, really, of the castle, and then we'll be walking back to the car. Just walk out of here a little bit to get some better footage. So we do hope that you're enjoying this footage of Donnington Castle. This is our third occasion, as I've mentioned in the video, that we've tried to get this footage. So hopefully third time a charm. And if you come up here, there's a car park at the bottom. Please take your rubbish with you, even though I don't see any bins. Look after the place. And for all you drone pilots, there's nothing on drone assist that says that you can't fly. There's no flight restriction zones, none. So there we go, we're just going to walk through this little bit here. Then we're going to take our walk back to the car park, back to where we're parked. So there's a shot of the castle. As I said, there'll be drone footage later, which our drone teams have been putting together some footage for you. So, calling all the Australian, American, New Zealand, wherever you are in the world, I hope that you enjoy this Donnington Castle footage on the Walking in History channel, one of the newest channels on YouTube and one of the biggest channels in 2025. And yes, viewers, we are growing. Thank you very much to all our subscribers. You are excellent, absolutely phenomenal. And please comment more below. We want to hear from you. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. Keep it positive. No negativity. As I said, if you don't like it, don't comment. But if you've got a suggestion, comment, please. And thank you to all the people that we met so far on our journey. Thank you to Liam Perrins in Midlands Road at the Liam Perrins factory. That video will be coming up soon on the channel. In 2025, New Year's Day, we launch exclusively to the Walking and History channel, and by using AI, Churchill's Secret Army, the auxiliaries, or what they were better known as, the Scallywags. They were a group of people that were recognised as Dad's army, but there was others that stayed in OBs, observational bases, and their job was that if in Germany that had invaded, they would act in a guerrilla warfare. So they would slow people down, blow up trees, shoot high-ranking officers, whatever it might be. And that's how this channel all started, ladies and gentlemen.